and if your league has an extra 10-point bonus, if he breaks over 200 yards, it's even better.
Yeah.
I'm in the semifinals.
Ooh.
Here's the thing. I have never won this league. And so just keep in mind as we bring in Dave Richard from CBS Sports. Good morning, Dave. How are you, sir?
I went up against Puka Nacua in the Experts League, and I am dead in the water.
Yeah, well, here's the
You can come back. You can do it.
That's the thing.
I think I can. I actually have a really good roster in that league, but I also lost Patrick Mahomes.
Oh.
So that kind of – and Devontae Adams.
Oh.
So that stings a little bit. But it's interesting. There's always a unique dynamic that fantasy managers can go through after the Thursday games when they run into a player who just went off. Okay, so I just played against Nacua. Nacua had the monster game. Does that change my thinking on who I start? I might not be as willing to start players with low upside.
Right.
I might have a tight end on my team. Okay, this guy's good for like 8 PPR points. Well, now I might take a second look to see who's on the waiver wire or who else is on the bench who could do better than that. And I might have to take a chance. Some would call it a Hail Mary. I would say it's kind of a Hail Mary for fantasy. But it's the type of thing that you want to do and manage, knowing that you've already gone up against one player who scored like 3 players in your fantasy league.
So are you the psychology is hilarious because this is one of those times where I had Puka Nacua and the guy I'm playing hasn't started anybody yet.
Yeah.
But and oh, by the way, just to give you a context. So in my league, this league is not a huge scoring league. If you score 75 points, 90% of the time you're going to win.
Okay.
90% of the time you're going to win.
So what did you get from Puka?
So from Puka last night, I got 29, but
that's a lot.
We have a 10-point. If you bust 200 yards, we have a 10-point bonus. So they're going to go in and insert 30. It'll be 39 points. It'll be 39 points for Nacua.
So you're past halfway to 75.
And I'm playing the number 1 seed, and I'm the number 5 seed. And even the little thing that says like what percentage and all that, it says I have a 65% chance of winning.
That's it?
Yeah, and I'm on pace to score 85 and he 72. So that's where we're at right now. But I'm also looking. I have 3 guys playing on Saturday. He has nobody playing on Saturday.
You better be way ahead.
That's what I'm saying. So even I would rather be in the spot I'm in right now, but you can't tell me, Dave, that when you're in this spot, there isn't a party that goes, God, I don't want to get too excited because what if Puka had a great night, but then Derrick Henry and Jamison Williams take a dump on Sunday, and I'm completely screwed. Then it hurts worse.
It's entirely possible that these things happen, but that's why we play the games. And just because you went up against somebody with Nacua doesn't mean that the rest of their team is going to go off like Nacua either.
Right.
So,
that's true.
Ultimately, you've collected the best players that you could. You're starting the ones who you believe in the most, and you're hoping that you come out ahead. That's fantasy football. It's not life or death. It's not something that's going to ruin your life for more than a couple of weeks.
Yeah, months. Jason,
how was
but
Christmas?
by the way, isn't it how it always works out, Jason, where like the team that barely squeaks into the playoffs with the number 5 seed goes up against the number 1 seed, which has been the best team all year long. And sure enough, the 1 seed goes down in flames and the number 5 seed goes on to win the championship.
Let me tell you something.
Sometimes you're the number 6 seed and you just slide in and you've got Nacua and Najigba on your team.
There you go.
Look,
how do you slide in as the 6th seed?
What I'm saying.
And Najigba?
How bad were you on every other pick?
Was your quarterback Geno Smith? What's going on?
Trevor Lawrence.
He's been good too.
There are years we've probably all experienced talking to everybody out there and everybody on the show where you just dominate. Like you dominate. Yeah. You have a good team all year long and maybe win the championship or whatever, but you have a good team all year long. I'll tell you right now, if I win this league, I have had Cam Scadaboo injuries. I've had Malik Neighbors get injured. I've had so many injuries, and I'm cobbling together. I am starting. I'm starting Swift. I'm starting Javonte Williams. I'm starting David Montgomery. I'm starting Dallas Goedert. I'm starting the Dolphins defense. Like I have pieced this thing together. I have MacGyvered this league off the waiver wire and free agency. I haven't made a single trade. If I win this league, which I will not, I think it's going to be, I will be more proud of this team than any team I've ever had.
Today is the
before.
greatest day of my life.
Yes. I think there's more into that when you win a league, and you have had to deal with a ton of it. I'm like the 49ers of our league. I think it means more, Dave.
I was about to say.
So, Jason, I don't want to. I was wondering if you would share with Dave. I thought about this when we talked about it yesterday. Would you mind sharing with him what you told me about your scoring system?
Oh, in the one league? Yeah.
Yes.
And Dave's in 8 million leagues. And,
Yeah.
And maybe there's an offshoot about what you would want Dave as, like, if you're kind of the godfather of fantasy football, what you would create as the perfect league. But
Hall of
in
Famer.
one of my leagues that I've been in forever, we have, and I don't remember the percentage split, and shame on me for not, but it's the bigger portion of the pot is total points. There is a head-to-head Super Bowl playoff, all that going on as well. But we go all the way through, week 18, and everybody you're playing on week 18 is just as important as week 1, even though the Super Bowl will then be done, I think, in week 17. But week 18, you're still playing because it's total points, and we draft in reverse order. So some people at the end may even tank to get a higher pick. Anyway, most of our big pot of our money is total points. Just curious your thought on that.
I like it, and it makes sense to that rewards the managers who pay attention all year long, who build the best teams, who deal with the injuries all year long. Dave, looking at you and being able to juggle your roster.
Thank you.
So that would behoove you in this league. But is it you've got this huge big pot of cash and it goes to the team that scores the most points at the end of week 18, or are you giving out like a little bit each week to the team that scores the most points, and then maybe like the top 3 that score at the end of the year get some sort of prize?
It's top 3 total points at the end of the year. So it's the season-long accumulation. But that also could sneak in that team that's like, wait, a 4-9 team won our Super Bowl because they got in the playoffs and got hot the last 4 weeks or whatever they were. Yeah.
Sure. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That's a good way to reward the top managers in your league.
Yeah. So how would you do it? Like if it was Dave Richards fantasy football and we all had to play it under your rules, how would you construct it?
Well, first of all, I think I have to make clear that you can play fantasy football without having money involved, and it's still very fun.
Fair.
Especially if you're going up against people who you want to beat. Like if I'm in a league with Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross, of course I want to kick their butt. So of course I'm down for that. But I'm in a league where it's winner take all.
Wow.
People paid their money to get in the league. The prize for second place, and there's no bonus for points scored. It comes down to making the playoffs, and you've got your opponent each week. If you don't win, you don't get any of your money back.
Wow.
It's winner take all. And I think that's how I like it.
Oh,
Plus, it's easy for the commissioner to collect the money, and then just all you got to do is, send out money to one person.
That is brutal, dude. That is torturous.
Yeah, but he's good at this.
Yeah, well, for sure. Now, what about those? What are those leagues I'm hearing about? Am I going to get it right? You'll know where, because I think we talked about it earlier. Where the team with the lowest points every week, they're done for the year.
Yes.
What are the? Is there's that
It's called guillotine league.
Yes.
You're chopping somebody from your league every single week. So you start with, I think it's 18 teams, 17 teams.
That
There are
draft
no
is
head-to-head matchups. You build the best team that you can. If your team is the lowest scoring team that week, you're done. And all your players go into the waiver wire pool.
Oh, man.
And everybody else in the league gets to bid their fab bucks on the players that were on your team.
Woof.
That's fascinating, actually.
Isn't it, though? Like,
wait, so the first week, Dave, of the Guillotine League, are there 17 teams drafting?
Oh, yeah. You have a draft that's 18 teams deep.
Ooh, that's rough.
Right.
Man.
It is rough. I got eliminated halfway through. I had a bad week from Jahmyr Gibbs and Mahomes on the same week, and that was that.
Well, that one, not only obviously injuries will impact that team, but like if you just happen to have, I don't know, 2 of your receivers and your best QB on a bye week, it's like, oh my goodness, you got to patch your way through that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And if you can't do it, and benches are small, so if you can't do it, you can't work your way through it. You're hoping to be bottom 3 in scoring, but not bottom 1.
So now, like, as that Guillotine League are the last, well, there's probably 3 teams left. Are they
Something
just
like that.
stacked?
There has to be 2 teams left for week 18.
Oh,
Otherwise,
yeah, you're right.
it's
So maybe there's 4.
or
Whatever.
week 17. There are some guillotine leagues that just go to week 17.
Okay.
And so as long as you have 2 there,
But if
you have a
every-
winner each. Right.
Yeah.
You have to have a winner each week.
But if everybody
Or
goes
lose
back
again.
in the pool, like I know you said you have to buy them back, but like how stacked are the teams by the end?
They're pretty stacked.
Yeah.
You're getting rid of a lot of the guys that are fringe players. Colby Parkinson would not be starting
Right.
for any fantasy teams in week 16 in a guillotine league.
Yeah.
Got some questions for you from the
Okay.
the world here. Dak or CJ Stroud this week?
I'm not a huge fan of Dak this week, but I would start him over Stroud.
Xavier Worthy, Rico Dowdle, Brees Hall, Zay Flowers, or Woody Marks. So basically, this is one of those. He's got to pick one to not go. Is there a name out there between Worthy, Dowdle, Hall, Flowers, and Marks that you would sit?
Marks might not play, so that's an easy one. And
Okay.
if Marks does play, then I think it's either Marks or Worthy who would take the seat. It would probably be Worthy would be the one I'd pass on with Gardner Minshew under center for Kansas City.
Lad McConkey, Jacoby Myers, or Cortland Sutton?
Sutton,
Okay.
Did the
Lad second.
how much did the Chiefs skill players value drop with Mahomes going out?
Oh yeah, went right into the sewer. It's rough, and the offensive line's not going to get fixed now either, because why would you rush back your injured tackles and your all pro guard if you don't have to? If they want to play, sure, you can let them play. That's a coach's decision. But Gardner Minshew is not Patrick Mahomes. In fact, Gardner Minshew like really became a check down guy. Like when he was Colts, that's how Michael Pittman had his fantasy season way back when, was because he was just catching a bunch of short throws. Travis Kelce could be at the end. These could be the last 3 games of his career. Rashee Rice doesn't look like he's going to play this week. I think Travis Kelce could get double-digit targets each of the next 3 games. So he will benefit. But I don't know if there's anybody else on Kansas City that I would look at and say, oh, yeah, that's a guy I want to start on my fantasy team with Gardner Minshew.
How about the Dolphins? Same thing. They're changing QBs. Does that how much does that impact their skill players?
Significantly in the case of Jalen Waddle and Darren Waller. Those guys at least had upside with Tua Tagovailoa, and you saw it in garbage time last week when it came to Waller with the multiple touchdowns. Devon Achan's going to do great, because the one thing about Quinn Ewers we saw in college was that he was willing to check down, get the ball out fast, screen slants, lean on short area targets. That's what Achan is, and that's what the Dolphins have been doing pretty much all year long anyway. But all of those in-breaking routes that Jalen Waddle had timing down with Tua on, those are out the window now. And so I'm very, very scared of Jalen Waddle. Don't want to start him in fantasy. And he has Cincinnati this week. It's such a great matchup. I would say that Darren Waller is a safe start because Cincinnati is so bad against tight ends. But A, the Ravens didn't take advantage of that last week. And B, I don't know how often the Dolphins are going to be in the red zone. And that's when Darren Waller's really started to take off as far as being a touchdown magnet for Tua, not necessarily Quinn Ewers.
Dave, as we have both Christmas and New Year's the next couple of weeks, the holiday season, this is, of course, I wouldn't say our final time speak. Well, it is our final time speaking this year, but we usually do an off-season check-in. I'm gonna finish with, 3 questions. The third, of course, will be where people can listen to you. Unless, Jason, you have something else.
Oh, there was one just
Go
from
ahead,
our,
please.
our chat. Jalen Coker or Michael Carter?
I'm going to lean Carter over Coker, but it's close between those two.
All right, now I'm looking at the text line. Okay, you got
There's
me.
more coming in.
Myers or Reed?
Yeah, you got to serve the people.
You do have to serve the people.
Jacoby Myers over Jaden Reed.
Okay. Schultz, Loveland, or Strange?
Schultz.
Okay.
Schultz.
Number one, for those, these are just going to be general questions. Number one, for those that are most likely in their semifinals this week or somewhere down the road in their playoffs, what's a basic piece of advice you would give somebody when they are making their lineups and sweating over decisions this weekend?
Yeah, short of what we talked about with Puka and maybe adjusting your lineup. Let's say you're going into your matchup this week and no one's played on either side. Don't change a thing about what you've done to get to this point in the season. So if you've been the player or the fantasy manager who started your studs and that's that, and you just, whatever process you go through, don't change it now. Don't start toying with your lineup, fiddling with it and making it a lot weirder than it needs to be. Don't make it weird.
Okay.
Don't do anything differently that you haven't done already so far this year.
And then as the season ends and winds down, what is the best off-season homework assignment you would assign to your students listening to improve their chances next year? Other than listening to you, of course, which you can include.
And this is a lesson that I learned 25 years ago when I started really diving into fantasy football. It's pay attention. And it's something that you should be doing every day during the fantasy season and I can't say every hour because no one's going to pay attention every hour, but you should do it every day during the preseason and the draft lead up as well. But in the off season, pay attention to what's happening in the NFL. There's something going on every week in the National Football League, save for like late June to mid-July. Like there's a month off where like nothing happens. But other than that, something's going on. Someone's getting traded. Someone's getting talked up by their coaches. There's going to be all kinds of coach movement and free agency and all that stuff. That's going to happen. And then the draft happens. And so there's always a lot of player movement. Stay on top of it. Stay engaged with football. And if you want to do that, you don't have to just, how do you do that easily? You just find a podcast that you like, find a show that you like where there's people who are knowledgeable on the subject talking about fantasy football, and just stay dialed into that show. And I'm telling you, Dave, it helps you perform better in fantasy when you go into your drafts and you already know all the players. You already know what teams they're on. You already have an idea on who should be good, who should be bad. And you feel a lot more confident when you go and you make your picks.
So that brings me to my final question that actually works perfectly. Jason and I were talking about this before you came on during the break. So you mentioned that, and I agree. Find a podcast, find a show, find something that with people that know what they're talking about. Do you know of any?
No, I was hoping you could guide me. In that
All right,
direction.
that's Dave Richard, everybody. Where can people consume your knowledge today and throughout the offseason?
Our fantasy football podcast. It's called Fantasy Football Today. It is a year-round, multi-time a week fantasy football show designed to help people win their fantasy leagues and stay engaged with football 365 days a year. I'm not going to say we're going to have a show every day in May, but we're going to do a lot of shows. We're very into what we do, and we help people make the playoffs, advance in the playoffs, win their leagues. Sometimes we botch it. We were big fans of Colby Parkinson this week. That didn't work out. But you know what? We were big fans of Matthew Stafford, too, and he ended up having a really good game. So go to youtube.com. That's the easiest way to find us. Search for Fantasy Football Today. Like and subscribe to the shows, and then you're on top of it. You'll know when we're on the air. We do a lot of live shows. We answer questions. We're doing it today at 9:30 your time. It's Fantasy Football Today from CBS Sports.
Do you have you know that new Leonardo DiCaprio movie? I forget what it's called, but it came out on like Netflix yesterday. You know what I'm talking about, basically. Have you seen it?
No.
It's apparently an Oscar. No, it's going to be do well at the awards. It came out on Netflix yesterday. I was curious because I know we like doing this off the air. Netflix now has this thing where you can like watch movies in like a party with friends from around the world or around the country. What are you doing tomorrow at noon your time? And would you like to watch the Leonardo DiCaprio movie with me?
I'm going to be a little busy at noon tomorrow to watch the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, so I'm not going to be able to make that.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing at noon?
Oh, you know what I'm doing.
Noon on a Saturday.
I mean,
what?
Miami Hurricanes, college football playoff.
Oh.
Against Texas A&M.
Okay.
Dave, I know you don't know much about the college football.
I don't.
playoff.
Wow. I do not. He's right.
Yeah.
I'm
worry. The Canes don't either until now.
Wow.
So hopefully a little bit of good luck for Miami and they find a way to get past A&M.
Everything the opposite of what you just said. A&M favored by 3 at College Station tomorrow, 9 a.m. Our time on ABC and ESPN.
Are you going to get joy if the Canes don't win? Will you feel joy? Will it put a hop in your step?
You know what? I'm just being honest as we go to break here. I feel like it's bad luck if you take joy in the hurting of your enemies. I will just.
You will.
It'll be like I'll be like that little kid in the GIF for Derek Jeter, the respect one, like towards A&M. I'll just kind of wink,
That's
take
cool.
off the cap, and then move along my way. Who am I to talk? My Knowles suck.
Well, but they'll come around. And I remember how I felt when the Knowles were snubbed from the college football playoff
How did you feel?
a few years back.
To be specific,
I thought they got snubbed. I thought they absolutely deserved to be.
Miami fan thought they deserved to be in there. FSU lifer was like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Quarterback got hurt. I get it. All right. I was the only one, by the way, and Florida State fans were super happy with me for that take, Dave. Dave
Yeah, I'm
Rich.
sure.
And enjoy your holiday season.
Yes.
You guys do the same.
Yes.
Good luck in your fantasy semifinals. Dave, let me know how you do.
I sure will. I'll text you, buddy. By the way, it's Phil's league, our buddy. So he and
Okay.
he's also
All
in
right.
the semifinals.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I hope you whip his ass.
Thank you, and I'll let him know. Dave Richard, everybody.
Thanks, Dave.
Have a great year, buddy. Thank you.
Later, guys.
Later.
Yeah.
We'll take a break when we come back. Hey, since Christmas is around the corner, I got a Santa Claus idea. It's a tried and true segment of presents for your favorite team for Christmas, but also I was hoping we could fit 3 for Madness.